You can support this show on patreon.com/wandering the aisles. That's patreon.com/wandering the aisles.
Some people in their entire life, the only time that they have positive touch is during sex.
Yeah.
Their whole life, they didn't grow up like me getting touch massage. They grew up getting hit or beat or having trauma associated with touch. And the only time touch was positive was when it was sexual. So that's why sex and touch are so related. I think this is my theory.
Welcome to Wandering the Aisles. I'm Andy Farnsworth. These are impulse buys with commentary from Earth's most interesting regular people, happenings out in the world, spontaneous conversational films. You know, the film thing might be a little misleading if you're new. I think it's possible that there might be a film version of this show coming sometime in the future. And the reason I think that is because I want to do it. There's nothing in the works particular. There's no development deal. I just want to make it sound like that. I'm trying not to do that anymore. Like, you know, just those subtle lies where you do them to kind of make yourself sound more important, but you just die a little bit every time you do it. Trying to think of one I do. I do my whole life. I do those. I do tons of those. I mean, it started when I was a little kid. Yeah, I saw this movie. And I think under a certain age, other people don't understand this, perhaps, if you're younger, but I just said perhaps. Whenever I do perhaps, I'm like, who are you, dude? I am a perhaps person. Let's own it and move on. Hey, how are you, by the way? Thanks for listening. Are you driving? Are you mowing your lawn? Am I really loud in your ears? If you're mowing the lawn and you're listening to this, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. No, don't go over that stick. You can do it, but it's going to chip your blade. But, I mean, as expenses go, lawnmower blade sharpening is not that bad. But the thing is getting it off the mower without it kicking. And there's just grass and the wrench strips out the bolt. So anyway, if you are mowing, I'd encourage you to, I don't know what I'm not going to encourage you to do anything. I want you to live your life, your landscaping life, free of Andy's codependence and control. That's going to be the new send-off. May you live a free life of your own personal landscaping. That sounds like pubic hair. Boy, we're riffing today. Hey, if you're new, I'm a little bit down. Not if you're new, if you're old. Whatever you are, I need you to know I am a little bit bummed out. Why does it matter? Well, you tuned in to listen to me, perhaps. Again, perhaps. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm chattery because I'm uneasy. Just fear. Probably like you guys, right? I mean, I'm looking for an apartment here in Denver. I'm trying to figure out work, a more stable work situation. See, that's one of those lies. I don't want to pretend that I have to do work. I want to pretend stand-up is full-time, and it is often. Or it was going to be this spring, as close as it's ever been. But we got to let go of that, Stand-up's going to get back going again. And, oh, by the way, I mean, I did a show last week. It was interesting. It was outdoors. It was outside a brewery here in Lakewood, Colorado, just outside Denver. And it was cool. I'd say people had the fight taken out of them a little bit, The audience was a bit, grateful. I mean, they're grateful, but I mean, there was a tenderness. That's a weird word, but I think you probably know what I mean. We've all been through some shit, so it seemed like the angry drunks weren't there. People were getting there towards the end. But Christy Buckley closed out the show, and I mean, there's nobody gonna mess with her. She's a champ, and I can't even imagine anyone trying to heckle her. I wouldn't. And I'm a somewhat seasoned wit, if you will. There was a guy sitting up in the front on the right side, a big bouncer-looking dude, and it's always the guy that looks like the girl's dad. You know, you go home to meet some girl's dad for the first time, and that the worst nightmare dad. The one that's going to take you hunting and kind of make some casual remarks about just maybe aiming the gun towards you on accident. By the way, if you're out there and you're eligible female, I am not afraid to go hunting with your dad. I'm a good shot. In fact, I'm very good at skeet shooting. Skeet. That, not the pun thing. The younger people know that's a dirty, filthy rap reference. Hip-hop reference. But that's not what I meant. I mean actually shooting clay pigeons, which are circular ceramic discs, by the way, if you're not into hunting. But I'm that guy. I didn't grow up hunting, but my dad taught me how to shoot a shotgun. And it's pretty fun. It's relaxing. There's kind of a music to it. I do have a show this weekend. It's at the Denver Fringe Festival, which is online, but I'm stoked to be a part of it. Denver, if you don't know, is the Edinburgh of Colorado. The original Fringe is in Scotland, but I'm going to the Scotland of Colorado. Online. I don't know what this one's going to look like, because it sounds like they don't want us to do any shenanigans. I think they want just straight stand-up. So I am going to set up a stand and just do stand-up into the ether. You can find the ticket link to that. There's a post on my Andy Farnsworth, like the professional comedian page, the one that's got my album Between Haircuts on it, on Facebook. So you don't have to be my friend to get it. Hey, 30,000 streams, this album. How's that? Isn't that cool? I'm stoked about that. It's like I can't even comprehend it. That doesn't mean listeners, necessarily. I think it's about 5,000 listeners, but it's a lot of streams. Abby Jane Palmer is on the show today. We are going to a store called Ritualcraft, which I wasn't able to keep a ton of because they were playing some music in the background, and it was loud, but it was also copyrighted music, and Spotify and some of the distributors pick up on that stuff, and then the episode gets blocked, which is crazy. The robots can tell. Robot snitches. But we went there, super cool shop, sort of like a fancy tea and spice shop, but with hexes and the items you use to curse people or bless them. Not a lot of cursing, really. And then another store called, in my head, I just wanted to say yerba mate in my head, but that is not right. The name of the store is Botanica Yemaya. Was that annoying, what I just did? I've been doing Duolingo Norwegian, but for some reason that gives me license to just start rolling my R's. Santeria. We're going to talk about that in the episode a little bit. Abby is a jack of several healing trades. She's a massage therapist, hand witch, tarot reader, she's a comedian, and healing artist. We'll get into the hand witch thing later. Not necessarily in that order. In fact, I was on a show with her, and she did comedy and tarot. I learned a bit about the occult, and Abby and I go into this, but I grew up with a sense of fear that was very much instilled in me about the devil, about new age music and crystals, and these things being a portal which lets Satan into your heart or whatever, wherever Satan hangs out. Probably the bowels. I think Martin Luther of Reformation fame, believed he had a demon in his bowels, which is a nice way. It's a much more fun way of saying he had irritable bowel syndrome. I don't know what was wrong with him. But I mean, if your guts are fucked up enough, you're eventually going to make a split from the Catholic Church. I think that's the lesson we all learned with Martin Luther. A couple of things I want to tell you that are coming. There is a new show in the making with me and a couple other comedians that I think you're going to really enjoy this one. I'm excited about this project. It is in pre-production, and I'll have more details. I'll have more details soon. If you haven't, you can support this show on patreon.com. Oh, there's a new $5, $10, or $25 monthly subscription on the Patreon now. There's 3 tiers. If you want to get some custom Christian Broadbent designed show stickers with the logo that we use here, that I use for everything, that's the $10 level. And for a $25 donation, you'll get all the aforementioned and a custom poster from my album taping that was designed by Evan Jed Mehmet. It's pretty cool. It's a banana in a sombrero and a casket, which is a tie-in to a bit that I had on the album. I want to take a quick second, though, to say thanks to the new patrons of the show. Also, our original patron and oldest friend of the show, Mundy Hendrickson. Thank you, Mundy. Your stickers are coming. I have some new stickers being made for the show. And so they're coming out here soon. If you donated and you're waiting on those, they're coming. I just want to say thanks to the new people: Judd, Marina, Grace, Lisa, Olip, Jim, Joe, Karina, and someone named Ted Tedderson. I don't think that's a real person. So thank you, Ted Tedderson. I appreciate that you want to keep a low pro. I probably shouldn't have said your alias out loud. I don't know. But thank you guys. It helps a ton, and it's encouraging. Anyway, all that to say, that's patreon.com/wandering the aisles. I want you to get into Abby here unfettered. So let's just get moving and hand off into this world of Abby and me. The world of mystery. World of mystery? Dude, what are you talking about? I'm sitting in a bedroom with my shirt off. It's hot. I turned the fan off and everything so that, okay, let's cut this. I don't want to tell you about this part of my life. Is it lying or is it just omission of embarrassing things? Here's me picking up Abby and us having a nice afternoon together here in Denver. Hey, I'd come up, but I'm all suited up right here, so. How are you? Good. Yeah, welcome to my truck. I said welcome too early, like you hadn't arrived at the truck yet. Well. And I was like, well, things could happen between then and now, so.
It was close.
All right, what were we, you had some good ideas, and I forget what you said. You said something about like a witch store? Is there like a witch Target? Is there like a big, like some witches have taken over the witch business?
Yeah, well, Ritualcraft really is like the biggest one. So that's why it's on...
I think that's going to be the name of our episode, Abby, Witch Target.
Witch Target.
I think what you do is amazing, like especially now too, because I mean, touch is like not happening.
I mean, I miss hugs. I miss being... this is the longest I've gone without receiving a massage. Like, I haven't received one...
Yeah.
In 20 years. It's the longest I've gone to go these three months without a massage. And, like, hardly any hugs.
Yeah.
I've started creating a little pod and hugging some friends, because I...
A hugging pod? Like a little...
Well, it's like...
Everyone's been vetted?
Well, it's like, we have to... I feel like at a certain point... Like my good friends, like you create a pod of people that you can be around.
Yeah.
Like if everyone lived in a house together, then it would be already have a built-in pod of people.
Yeah. I've always been like weird about, like, I didn't grow up in a real touchy-feely family, so like I've only in the last few years started to understand, like, oh, I like actually grieve that I didn't get that much, and like, and actually it's a big deal. I mean, I think it's like kind of my language.
Oh yeah.
I mean, in like intimate, I'm not like that guy with everybody. There's negotiation if I'm just hugging like strangers.
Yeah.
But I guess you're not supposed to just go hug strangers. Maybe after this, after all this,
everyone will just be. I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting but it is like you have to be mindful. Well, and like just getting consent, because I have just gone up and touched someone. Because my mom grew up in a family like yours, not a lot of touch, and then she made a conscious decision, like, I want a lot of touch.
Yeah.
So my mom and dad touched a lot, and they touched us, and my mom did infant massage, and so...
No shit.
Yeah. She taught
Do you remember
massage.
being massaged as an infant?
I mean, no. I only have, like, I have one memory of, like, my mom holding me. And, like, I must have been, like, a little baby, like, in her arms. Like, it was in the rocking chair. Like, I have that little snippet. But I do have memories of growing up. Like, if I had a headache or my legs hurt from growing, you know.
Yeah.
My mom and dad would both give me massages, so...
That is, I mean, that's so great. I mean, it wasn't because my parents were mean. They just didn't know how to have that.
Well, like, they didn't grow up with it.
Right.
Probably. And,
Yeah.
I mean, Dr. Spock was like, don't touch your kids.
Yep.
Like,
Spare the rod, spoil the child kind of shit.
So go south.
Go south, okay. Yeah, man, I know. And that fucks people up, man.
It causes a failure to thrive. There's like a study with little baby monkeys that they did, like, because they thought that food would be the only thing that they would choose, but they put a comfort mother in and then like a wire food mother that she always had the food, and they would always choose the comfort. And that was when people first started. I mean, there still hasn't been very much research done.
Yeah.
But
I was talking to my friend Cammie, she's real into tarot and stuff, and I was like, can you give me some things? I know, I'm gonna, with the truck it's kind of hard to, I gotta like navigate but that's not gonna be right either. Sorry.
It's okay.
But yeah, we were talking about tarot, because I mean, it's really important to her. And I mean, I grew up pretty religious, where occult stuff was really suspicious. Like,
I did too.
Yeah.
I mean, my parents, like, I'm not really fully out to them about it, because they definitely think I'm dancing with the devil or gonna go to hell, or, you know, they're pretty fixed in their spiritual beliefs.
It's weird, yeah, and it must be, I don't know where it came from, but I think it kept my mind kind of closed off to certain things. I mean, I like to look for the similarities in spirituality that people have kind of latched onto, you know, now more than... But words like my parents' biggest fear was that I would get into the New Age movement. Like, it's still, to this day... Is this the wrong parking lot?
Yeah, just go through there, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, to this day, they're like, that scares the shit out of them.
Oh no,
because you were opening up yourself. Oh, they're advancing, I think, as humans a little bit.
Yeah, go up here, because I think this is just for salon stuff.
Do they give out parking tickets at the witch store, I wonder? Just like,
oh man.
So I will apologize, like, if I make any snarky comments. It's not.
It's
it was really built into me, man, because
I know. I went to church 3 times a week. Like, I don't know which church did you go to?
There were different pastors, but it was a Baptist church.
Yeah, see, my parents are Baptists now.
Really? Southern, or like?
Well, I mean, they live in Washington State, so it's not Southern, but it definitely has the music and...
It's outdoor Baptist. What, you gonna translate? Does that mean something? Mithras?
I think it's just the brand.
Just the brand. I just need a good candle. Any recommendations?
You want it to smell good?
A Ouija candle. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
So seriously, Abby, there's a part of me that's like, this scares the shit out of me. Like I'm distracted now. There's skulls. There's a skull.
Yeah.
What? What's so funny?
There's a skull.
I know. There's a crow.
There's also some like embroidery.
There's
kits.
a really like a pretty girl diary.
It's like a magazine.
Oh,
it's
the
like
Daily Maiden.
The Maiden. So, and there's the Maiden, the Mother, and the Crone. Those are the three. Like I'm trying to remember, like the triple goddess. It comes up a lot, and in other religions too. Well, even in Christianity, there's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So there's like three aspects. That comes up a lot.
Three aspects of a single deity kind of thing. Yeah.
And I mean, like if you look in Norse traditions, Odin had two brothers, things like that. Like it comes up a lot in the different traditions.
You never think of Jesus as an only child. Like, that's kind of a bummer.
Or was he?
Yeah, right. So then, right. They had some jealous brother named like Rick. It's like almost embarrassing that I'm like, I still have my, like I have departed from that, but the early wiring is very much there.
Well, my therapist said it's the soup that you're cooked in and it permeates you.
Yeah.
I grew up where it was like pretty homophobic and bigoted towards
me
that,
too.
and so that took a while, and I probably still have to acknowledge some things around it.
Yeah, me too. I like you said that, the soup that you were raised in or whatever, cooked in. Yeah, raising someone in soup is suspicious. Wow, it's almost like Magic the Gathering, but the real shit.
The real magic.
Face nectar. There's a dirty joke there. It's honey or something. I just realized my mask is upside down.
Is this real? I really just found a dime.
Is it a dime?
Yeah.
I haven't spent like a coin in so long. You know, I go to the Coin Star with it, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you spend change?
I have a jar that I've been saving change in that's almost full. That I always thought when I got it full I could go to Paris.
That was really weird because I was having a little bit of a reaction. Even though that was pretty tepid, it was just like a cool store on some level. Right?
Yeah.
Superstition is wired into me. I think there's ritual stuff in my roots because I come from a lot of farmers.
Yeah. The witches' holidays are around the wheel of the year that have to do with
like harvest.
Yeah, with
stuff.
harvesting, with planting, with harvesting. Yep. Like, so we're coming up on summer solstice. So this is, the next bit on the 21st next week. And even like just being in touch with the moon.
Yeah.
That's the thing. One of the things I learned today in my class, because I know a lot of people don't believe in astrology.
Yeah.
And things like that. But she said, the way she said it, the Earth is alive, that the moon, the planets, that they're all living their bodies. Their bodies in our atmosphere.
Yeah.
We're a body in our atmosphere. Yeah. And I had never heard anyone say it like that. But we're affected by bodies in our atmosphere.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like the Earth has an iron core. It's molten. We have iron in our blood.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and even like celestial bodies, that's a term. People say celestial bodies.
Yeah.
Drink some water too. But I'm sorry, we lost your... I'm sorry for the fire truck that went by that I have no fucking control over. I'm sorry about existence that I have no control over. But I liked what you were saying, so
I did a past life regression that was just, essentially was a meditation, and where like you just brings you back, and then like what do you see? I mean, I felt that it was the Roman times, and I worked in the Colosseum, kind of like, I don't know if it was but like a Colosseum, like where, you know, the animals, they would have animals fight or people fight to the death kind of thing. But I was taking care of the animals, and I wasn't smart, and I got killed by like a lion or something. Like I turned my back and was like just laying there dying, like, oh, I fucked up. But I mean, I don't know if that's true, but that's what came to me.
But that's so specific.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm sorry you lost your life, but...
Well, I mean, I fucked up. Never gonna do that again. Not gonna turn my back on a tiger again.
I mean, and you never hear that story in school about the person who was helping. I mean, they had to keep the lions.
Yeah, because and it was like entertainment, and so like the work that I've been doing, where I've been like doing production or doing massage backstage, where that kind of has like a familiar. I feel like I'm in my like element. I'm with my kind of people.
Yeah.
Like there would have been a backstage area of the Coliseum where somebody was,
that is amazing.
You know, like cleaning up the animal poo and stuff.
Shoveling shit down. Another day, like some abusive dad. Another day shoveling shit down at the Coliseum. Did you do your fucking homework? That's fucking wild. Oh man, that is amazing, Abby. Like that dream. That was a dream, or it was part of the meditation?
Yeah, it was just
which
like
is kind of a dream.
Yeah. I mean, it was just, yeah, like it, so yeah, who knows? But everyone that was there, one of my other friends, like everyone had an experience, you know, that was...
It was, that'd be interesting. What are your thoughts on...
just pulling over the
yeah, because I do. This is... If I weren't with you, I would just not even think about this, but...
Oh, yeah. No,
okay.
I'm fine with...
Which way?
I've been...
Right or left? Or
right.
I guess I can't go left. All right, here we go, over the curb.
You want to go to the... Are we done?
No, no.
Go straight.
To the plant store.
Oh, to a plant store.
Isn't that what you wanted? Or the other, which store?
Yeah, we're just going to go...
The Mexican one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's like right over by here.
I'm going to cut away here to tell you something. Perhaps a bit of a confession, maybe a portent of things to come. I'm thinking of living in my truck. Everybody I know says it's a bad idea. My friend Dave out in Los Angeles, the comedian, he said, do you know anybody who lives in their vehicle who is not insane? And I don't. But I may be about to join the ranks of the mobile Ted Kaczynskis. Why? Is it money? Maybe. Is it, well, I've tried everything else. I do like camping. This is where I'm at. This is what happens when you're not in a relationship. You start having ideas about living in your vehicle. Like, I bet you back in the day there was some guy who's like, oh, you know what, I'm going to live on my horse. But I think that's what you did, right? If you're a cowboy, you lived on your horse. I mean, you got off of it to sleep, I guess. But I bet there were sleeper horses, like with the thing in the back. Well, I guess that would be a carriage. Even still, though, I don't think carriages would be that great to sleep in. Man, I'm feeling really disconnected, like disassociated or something. I guess that's a word they use. I had a fight with my dad. I don't usually go into my dad's stuff, but I mean, I don't know. Did anyone else get a letter from their dad reminding them that their life is half over and that they've completely fucked up the first half of their life financially, and then the second half it looks like they're on track to do the same? Did you guys get that letter? And really, the most dishonest thing I could say right now is Happy Father's Day or Happy Birthday. They go on the same weekend for him. A lot of dad energy at this particular moment in time. I'm a little worried sometimes when I record in the parking lot of a place because the microphone does look like a gun. And it might look like I'm about to blow my own brains out because it's pointing at my head. Don't be scared. I'm not going to kill myself. I know I was talking about living in my truck, but I just am too codependent to kill myself. I don't want anyone to have to clean up my suicide. Like, I could hire a cleaning lady and be like, hey, I'm going to blow my brains out, and my truck will be at this park if you would come and clean it up, and then call the cops. I guess that probably costs a lot of money. I probably need to put it on my credit card up front. I don't really have a credit card anymore. I've gotten rid of credit cards. You guys should try it. It's freeing. I have one. Oh my God, who am I? What am I turning into? I understand that people are in pain, you know? I know people who have killed themselves in my life. I'm just too much of a people pleaser, you know? Don't want to let anybody down. Don't want to think about who may or may not actually show up to the funeral. I guess now there's the option of the virtual funeral, you know? Oh, don't put yourself out. Go ahead and log on to the Zoom funeral for Andy. Oh my God, I'm just spiraling into self-pity. I never used to believe in the concept of self-pity. I used to give this whole speech about how there's self-empathy. I do think you got to go to self-empathy first before you get into self-pity. But it is a real thing. So, I mean, you can pity yourself. I'm doing it now. I can feel it. I actually have to feel empathy for myself for being self-pitying, because I do it for a reason. And that refer back to the aforementioned letter from Dad. You know what? I think chapter 2 of Andy's comedy is going to be Dad. I gave Mom some airtime, and I think it's going to be the season of Dad issues. By the way, I got to perform this last week. It's pretty fun. Pretty nice to wind back up into hell. The hell of performing stand-up, which is very comfortable hell. And I mean, after you do it, it's amazing. No, it isn't. It's just something I do. I fucking hate it sometimes. It's hard to explain. It's like my kid. I've never hated anything and loved anything so much. That's my kid. Why did I cut away here? There was something I wanted to tell you. I have been fighting with my dad in my head for the last week, and I am tired. I mean, good old-fashioned resentment, man. It'll wear you out. Parents are only doing the best they can, you know? Have you ever heard that expression? They did the best they could do, but the best they could do was criminal. I like that expression. I wouldn't say criminal, but... All right, let's wander back to Abby.
So, doing massage, like, another issue is that a lot of people think I'm a sex worker or don't take me seriously, and like, that's frustrating. Like, I wish that I could be a doctor, and I wish that people would think of me like a doctor instead of a sex worker. Not that there's anything wrong with sex work, but I am not here to do it. I have, like, all the Christian shame around it. Like, I still have work on my own sexuality to unpack, like, where it would cause me too much pain to do that kind of work. And I know some people, I think they could be healing, and I think it could be good, but not for me. But I realize
it would cause you pain to do sex.
To get, like, I think I would have, like, so much shame and
people,
like,
who thinks massage is sex work?
A lot.
Oh, because you go to, like, the Oriental. That's the cliche.
Yeah.
Is it that happy though, Abby?
No, I definitely don't think it's happy. Especially, like, I could go off on this because like when you're talking,
it's a happy ending, but a very sad beginning, like a shameful.
But and also those, when you're talking about sex trafficked women, those are the women who are sex trafficked, and like it was like a big Patriots football guy got caught at a place in Florida.
Yeah.
2 times on video soliciting sex, and that woman that owned that spa is a big Trump donor. Because I didn't, it like just came to me that those, because I just always assumed that those women just chose that, but like no, they force them to do that. They're like container women that are then forced to like try and work off a visa, giving happy endings to old fat people who are probably in positions of power that are then doing that. So it's like, that is not going to heal anyone. That is causing trauma all over.
Yeah.
And
Sorry. Why did I do that? I just said I'm sorry. No,
because you have control over this. I don't know. What is it?
Damn it. It's my phone.
Oh.
Okay, rejected. Yeah, I used to have this bit. I had this bit on my last album about how porn, aside from like a moral thing, like we spend so much time labeling food and like where it came from and sourcing it. We don't have any label for porn that's like cruelty free or this person did not have a gun to their head off camera.
Yeah.
I mean, and that fucks, like, that once you wake to that a little bit, you're like, and there's still, I mean, it's like you still fucking do it. So, like, but it's creepy and it's just like fucking. So, like, yeah, why don't... Maybe, I think we do need a little label. Green, this has been sourced.
Yeah.
I
think that's a good... Yeah.
Right? I think it's a brilliant idea. I have a lot of brilliant ideas.
One day I went up and just touched a guy's shoulder. And
you can touch my shoulder.
And he went like... He, like, backed away. And I realized that he had trauma. And I realized that some people in their entire life... The only time that they have positive touch is during sex.
Yeah.
Their whole life, they didn't grow up like me getting touch massage. They grew up getting hit or beat or having trauma associated with touch. And the only time touch was positive was when it was sexual. So that's why sex and touch are so related.
Huh.
I think. This is my theory.
I think that's been my experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of, it's loaded. I didn't realize this. Like, I didn't realize how much of a negotiation that was happening after sex. I would feel so much, I was like re-traumatized. I could, and finally as I've gotten older, I started to get into it. I like started to not feel that with a couple people I was with, and it was like, yeah, it was...
Well, I mean, like, I want to heal. I think that we got to be able to, right?
Oh, man, it smells good in here. Hi. Oh, my God. This shit is real. You got the statues. Holy shit. This one is badass. A lot of statues. There's a lot more like statuary type. Is that what you call it?
Yes, these are definitely statues. The other day, my son asked me if I believed in the Grim Reaper.
Do you?
I mean, not really, no.
I believe in this one. This one is pretty fabulous.
Let me see. It's pretty happy.
I mean, it's pretty decked out.
Yeah.
It's got a 50 on him. Or her. I don't know. Grim Reaper's like a guy. I feel like it's not a guy.
Yeah, definitely masculine.
Yeah.
Masculine vibes.
It's like a little scorpion. Santeria. And then they're selling like terracotta roof tile. That's interesting.
See here, does this make you feel at ease like baby Jesus? Little baby Jesus?
No. These are it's like a baby Jesus priest guy. He's like a southern, or is it doctor?
It's a little doctor, Nino Doctor.
Nino Doctor. That sounds like a good.
Here's a Pope, though. That looks like a Jesus. That's 100% Jesus.
That's definitely Jesus.
Look at
Jesus and the Grim Reaper.
Look at this Last Supper. They're all dark like they would have been.
Sweet. It's badass. Thank you for taking me here. This is amazing. See, I felt like more relaxed in that one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a... Do you think like sorcery, witchcraft and stuff is like maybe a lower, like a poverty thing in some way too?
He's on there, sorry.
What's that?
He was asking for money.
But right as I was saying like the word, that's fucking wild. I was saying the word poverty.
Oh, really?
Well, because it's like a lack of control. In a way, it's a way to like maybe control your world if you feel helpless. You know?
Well, but 100% like one of... I'm trying to remember the exact words, but that's like... I mean, there's all different kinds of spirituality, but like... It would be like where you would do something in the world to affect the world. Like... You do this to make the crops grow, you know?
Yeah.
But like all of the African traditions, which I'm not, like, I'm not super well versed in.
Yeah.
I know a little bit, but they definitely used magic to protect themselves and do protective work and... I don't know. Christianity got so egotistical.
Well, and I was a theology major, and as you dig into the roots, it was way more mystical early on, like the Gnostics and stuff. The stuff that was early. You know what's interesting? I had my cousin on last week. He's a Methodist minister, and you know the first heresy in the church was actually when people would proclaim that Jesus was not human. That he was fully divine. So the denial of Jesus' humanness was the heresy, which I think is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's really interesting. I don't know how... Anyway, I'm a fan of Jesus.
So you want to get a plant, or are you done now?
I mean, I'm not... I'm staying at my cousin's, so I don't need a... I feel... If you come home with a plant and you're staying with somebody, you know what I'm saying. It's like... Oh, he thinks he's staying. He's got a cat, you know. Right?
I mean,
especially a big plant.
Yeah.
She's cool with it, but, you know, this has been good. We talked about a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
Left at the light.
We'll just go straight.
Straight, okay.
And then this will take us to I-70. We'll
Sweet.
Just hop back on I-70.
Yeah. I don't know. I asked you because you had when I met you, you had like a good vibe. That's just like just short of it. I think some people feel like they're open. It's weird because some people that are into like witch stuff or like, I'm going to say new age stuff or crystals, astrology, sometimes they can be super close-minded, you know, in this weird way. Like a fundamentalism gets applied to that too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I appreciate that you have like a seeker kind of
Yeah,
vibe.
I mean, that's what, like, well, I first, you know, well, Christianity, obviously, and then I started, like, exploring just, like, Buddhism and trying to, and I think, like, one of the, like, an interesting way to learn about spirituality is through art, and I got my art history minor. Yeah. So, like, you really can learn about spiritual practices when you're studying that.
Totally. I mean, icon.
Yeah.
My friends who are painters were really into the Eastern Orthodox Church and icons.
Mm-hmm.
there's some crazy shit going on in those things, in those depictions.
Eventually you're gonna want to be in the right lane.
I mean, I feel like those experiences I had were legit. Like, I wouldn't say that my own experiences in church were all, like, bullshit. Like,
oh, no.
I had legit experiences, but the dogma...
Like divinity. Well, I don't like that. Well, it's the shame, too. Cause
the shame.
Like, I grew up with so much shame about so many things. And, like, that, God is love, period. That's what it says in the Bible.
Yeah.
It says God is love. And the one thing that Jesus said is love your neighbor as yourself. And so you have to love yourself first. Mm-hmm. Like, everyone talks about the self-care kind of woo-woo, but, like, when you see how people treat their neighbor, they're not treating themselves very well either.
Dude, yeah.
And like that's what Jesus said. Jesus didn't say anything about hating gay people.
No.
He never said that.
He hung out with all the fucking outcasts, man.
And the sex workers.
Totally, man. Totally. Yeah. Jesus hung out with prostitutes.
Yeah.
The thing... Yeah, and I mean, I just felt... Yeah, you know, I think that's what I was really... in retrospect, like, really trying to get away from was I just felt this shame. I felt a constant shame, and now I realize a lot of it had to do with abuse stuff. But the idea that that we were born flawed, or because of sin or whatever, I find that there's something off to me. I feel like if God's the creator of the universe, why would God?
Well, we're made in His image. Yeah. So that means that we're reflections of God. We're already divine. We already are divine as we are because we're a reflection. Like, it's just like as you are.
Yeah.
God is love. That's it. Like, love where you are. Love yourself. And, like, don't kill people. Don't steal. You know, like, all that stuff is good.
I love Nietzsche called man a god who shits.
That's what, like, I'm hearing... I follow a lot of, spiritual kind of people on Instagram, and that, like, Erykah Badu said it in a live video. She said that right now a lot of gods are waking up. Like, and if you see, did you watch the new Chappelle?
Yes, just right before I came to get you. Whoa.
Yeah.
He was spitting some fire, man.
But he was saying, too, how proud he is. And, like, Eddie Griffin said that, and Erykah Badu, like, I'm proud of you guys getting out in their streets. Like, you don't need us.
Yeah.
You're doing it. Like, you are doing this. And, like, it's just interesting to hear from all. But anyway, she said, because it was a radio interview to the graduating class of 2020, and the guy asked, what advice do you have? But she said, I see, like, a lot of gods are waking up. Like, all you, like, do you and don't care what anyone else thinks. Like, if you're making music, you make it and, like, don't care. Like, you gotta do you.
Yeah.
And, like, and it's the same, like...
Feel that low-grade exhaustion? I mean, we've had this dread of not knowing for the last 3 months. And just craziness from the top down. And, like, I was looking in my old cabinet at home of, like, when we had that brief period of stockpiling, and I had a bunch of sweet potatoes and Heinz 57 sauce and tuna fish in the packets. And I was like, well, we're not there. But, we slowly came out of that, but nobody, like, gave us a hug and said, hey, it's going to be okay, America. World. Come here. Looks like we're through this. It's going to be a slow burn, a slow climb out of it. That's what everybody keeps saying. But let's not dwell on that. Here's what we need to dwell on. We need to form, how there's fireworks going off everywhere? We need to form, there's just these rogue bands of firework gangs, I guess, firework people. I think we need roving gangs of hugging people, of huggers. I mean, with consent. And then people can log into Nextdoor and put up complaints like, did you hear all the hugging last night at 3 a.m? It's just hugging. And I don't mean to be a killjoy, but I have to get up in the morning. I can't sleep with the sound of all the comfort and reassurance. I can't have that happening outside my door. Some of us have to get up in the morning. What do you do to reassure yourself? You know, I'm wondering about you. I'm a little worried about you. I'm struggling, but I mean, I'm worried about you because I don't know what you got. Do you have a therapist? I mean, a virtual one, that's fine. That's good. I mean, I'm going to have to do that. I think we just figured it out. Andy hasn't been to therapy in a while. I had a great therapist when I was back in Utah, but he can't see me now that I'm out of state. Some kind of rules. I don't understand. Something about Utah. If you're going nuts, you know, they need you to be close so they can send a car. Look, if there's anything we learned today, you were of service to me. I just had to talk myself into the realization that I need to go back to therapy. Because that's what's happening. It's this emotional fatigue. This is what happens for me. I can't identify my emotions. It takes me a while. There's just something wrong for like several days. Like something off. And that usually means I'm really chewing on something deep. There's just a cow in the darkness chewing about dad. Just an angry cow with dad issues. May or may not be about to be slaughtered. The cow in the darkness chewing. Ruminating. Did you know that word ruminant? It actually means like to chew. Rumination. English class with Andy. Look, I'm not going to turn this frown upside down for you motherfuckers. I'm not going to. Sorry, no offense if you do happen to fuck your mother. I don't mean to judge. If that's your thing. See, I can't put that in there. That's like illegal. I'm not that guy. I don't have the spine. I'm not a comic with the backbone to say shit like that. It's Leave It to Beaver over here. Also, I think I might have lost a friend of mine based on the intro. I don't know if I did, but I'm worried that my black friends that I'm reconnecting with are going to listen to this podcast and hear the banjo music at the beginning. And I'm going to lose more friends. Just based on the banjo. I mean, banjo is roots music. You could trace it all the way back to Malian music. Man, I hate this with the headlights. It's teenagers and dad's Forerunner. Yeah, they're definitely teenagers. Because they're driving real fast in the parking lot. Well, I mean, we figured this out together. Andy has to go back to therapy. Anyway, all right, come on, let's go. We're back to Abby. Shoo, shoo, hush, move. Move. Hustle, let's go. We were talking about farmers, you know?
Uh-huh.
And witch, like casting spells and stuff.
Yeah.
And superstition.
Yeah.
So I think that's in my blood, because if you, and it goes back, because if you fuck up, you see your crops not being abundant as, oh, I fucked up, I'm being punished, or I'm being blessed, or whatever. It's so outside of your control.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, I mean, there's a pessimism if you come from those roots, because you don't get too proud of yourself, because you might get fucking wiped out. Like your crop might get. You don't know. Like,
yeah, well, like everything has to align just right.
Yeah.
Like so my birthday is July 31st, so it's coming up here, and I'd never learned of there's a pagan holiday that's the day after my birthday on August 1st, Llamas. And it's halfway between summer and harvest. So back in the day, they would take a look at what they had done and be like, okay, you know what? Everything is going perfect. We nailed this. You know, everything's growing. We're going to have enough for winter. And then if everything was going good, people would party. It would be like when you would have family reunions. It's a fire festival, whatever.
Yeah.
Or it would be a time where you would look at your crops and be like, oh no, this stuff isn't getting together. Okay, we're going to have to see if we can trade with the neighbors, so we're going to be able to get through, you know, and see if we can get a pig or whatever. So go left. And, well, and it's dedicated to a god named Lu, who I had never heard of. So this is Celtic. Lustantia, it's like a celebration of Lu. But he was a god of many talents. Like, he was an artist god, and he, just behind that white car, he did like a lot of, like, he was trying to go to court, and it was like a walled-in community or whatever, and they were like, we don't let anyone in unless you have a skill that someone doesn't have that's already living in here.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, well, I'm a metal, I can make swords. And they're like, no, we have someone. He's like, I'm a good fighter. And they're like, no. And he's like, I'm an artist. And he like lists all the things he can do, and they're like, nope, nope, nope. And then he was like, do you have someone who can do all of them at once? And they were like, nope, and they let him in.
Oh, yeah.
So
I relate to that.
I had, like, my teacher that I'm studying with right now, she always told me, like, so I went to massage school 20 years ago, she said, you need to pick one thing and do it. Like, if you're going to do shiatsu, you need to focus on that and do that one thing, and I've never been good at that. I'm like, I do massage, I do this, I'm doing all these things. So then to know that, like, Lu's holiday is the day after my birthday, and I never even had ever heard of him.
Yeah.
And, like, it's Celtic, so like my roots would have known these stories. There's more about him, and I still am learning, but
that's cool. I like that.
Yeah,
they're like a god of all trades, kind of.
Yeah. Yep.
That's fucking badass.
It's like really just trying to live intentionally. So, yes, are there people that are like hexing and cursing or things like that? Like, that's not really stuff I would ever really dabble in, because you don't want to put negative energy out into the world.
Yeah.
Like, if, like, I would do, like, protection work, so, like, I'm protected, my family's protected, like, where it's staying positive. Like, I do think...
When you speak about somebody, when you gossip, that's casting a spell.
That is 100%. Like,
when
words
you
are spells.
Talk shit, when you think ill of someone, or when you think good, I think, too, you're casting some kind of thing, you're sending something out. And I don't know how many fucking times I have been thinking of someone that just shows up.
Yeah.
That happens all these weird synchronicities, man. I've had... I wish I had kept them all. They mean something to me because they have their own signature, but there have been some that are just...
It's a nod from the universe that you're doing the right thing, kind of. Or like,
I agree.
That's how, like, it makes me feel like, okay. But, okay, so finding the coin, like, I had someone say, like, to ask, like, you could ask ancestors or ask God or whatever, however you want to say it, ask guides. Like, but I had asked, like, ancestors to, like, show me, like, to give me coins. There was a guy who said to do it. He, like, wanted to know if he should write a book. And he's like, if I'm supposed to write this book, show me a penny. Like, make it be clear that it's from you. And then one day he, like, wakes up, goes like this, and, like, goes into the bathroom, and he's got a penny stuck to his chest.
What the fuck?
Like, it's, like, stuck on there. So I've asked, like, I like getting coins.
That's amazing.
Where sometimes, like, I mean, that one not necessarily, but that one kind of was. Because people had walked by there, so...
Oh, this is what this... we've been talking for a minute, but my friend Cammie was saying she has decks, right, tarot? Mm-hmm. And she feels like there's guides with specific decks that kind of like, I don't want to look at this one because, it's like, he's mean a little bit. Like, it's the truth, but, like, I don't like...
I definitely... Like, I have a gentle one, but I definitely... Yeah, there's different decks for... I've been doing some readings, like, during this time at home for people, and like I've had like a bunch of crazy synchronicities.
Yeah,
like I'll be working with one deck, and then I'll be like, okay, this other deck is calling for me, so I'm just gonna pull a card from it, and I'll pull one of the cards that I had already pulled. So it would be like, you know, out of 74 cards, like to pick one of the ones, and it was like, oh, there's something more here with this one that we didn't communicate about yet. Like there's a message. For sure, you need some Ace of Wands. We didn't get to the heart of what you needed to hear.
That's...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of stuff with dates and stuff too. I mean, speaking of new age,
Well, the Chappelle,
that shit, right?
the 846.
Mm-hmm. And then he made in passing a
826.
comment that Kobe was born on his died on his birthday or whatever, or something about that date.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, there's birth stuff too.
This is numbers. Kobe's numbers were his birthday.
Yeah.
And it's the same amount of time that the George Floyd got.
Yeah, the
linked to
826 one or whatever.
Yeah.
Right, 840.
Or whatever.
Yeah. Well,
846.
so Enya, I've always had this weird relationship with Enya. Like, since I was a kid. Like, I would listen to Enya and, like, I don't know what it was about, but it was, like, maybe my way of checking out or something. And there's some weird shit going on. Maybe it's Celtic roots or something, too, but it's, like, but it was powerful for me.
Sail away.
Seriously, when Ben opened that one show with Sail Away, were you there for that? He used it as opening for his fucking his stand-up show, which I loved. But okay, so anyway, I have like 20-minute chunk about Enya, and like I'm kind of fascinated with her and stuff. But like, that's all, set all that aside. Like the other day I was hiking, and someone had written Enya on a post. First of all, what kind of graffiti artist writes Enya? Second of all, I was looking up Enya. I went and Googled something. Her birthday was that day. Then I realized that's my ex's birthday.
Whoa.
I never put that together. Like all at once. And hers is 3 days away from mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that wild? It's wild. That's fucking crazy. Anyway, thank you, Abby. This has been really good. I want to hug you.
Yeah?
Can we?
Yeah.
Should we do it?
In here.
Thank you. Oh my god, it's like my first hug. And okay, that one felt good. Or that was like an icebreaker hug, because
Well, we couldn't do a full-on, like, real hug either.
this is good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Thank you so much. It's
Thank you.
good getting to know you. See ya. That's our show. Thanks, Abby Jane. If you're in Denver, you can schedule a tarot reading or a massage session with her. You do that through abbyjanepalmer.com. I believe she does virtual tarot readings as well, if you're not going out. Or whatever, I don't know. If you're scared of the outside, in general. There is no conditionality. You just have the availability of doing the readings over the internet. She's got a location here in Denver on South Broadway. So abbyjanepalmer.com, abbyjanepalmer.com. Thanks a lot, Abby. Thanks for being with me. Thanks for going down those twisty roads, the twisty roads of self. That's got to be a John Denver song. That's what he'd be putting out now if he were still alive. Stuff like that. He might be doing heavy metal. John Denver might be doing fucking heavy metal at this point. Can you imagine a heavy metal John Denver album? Couple housekeeping type things. WanderingTheIsles.com, that's our website. Instagram and Twitter, at Wandering Isles. Follow us. Follow me. Us. Me and my several personalities. Patreon.com/Wandering the Isles. Like I was talking about up top in the beginning of the show, we got 3 tiers. Give us a review on iTunes if you feel like it. That's always nice. It's good to see the really encouraging comments on there. Music this week by Aaron Campbell and Future Sequence. And as always, this is where I put my sign off, like some kind of signature. See you around if you don't turn square. That's what my grandpa used to say. I hope to hang out with her again soon. I am going to get a massage from her. Absolutely. Definitely not at the airport. Not that that's even an option. But, like, what if that was my thing, though? Be like, I need you to do this in a field out in the middle of the open. Like a Sting video. Like the grass is blowing. Like a wheat field. Actually, that sounds really nice. A massage out in the middle of a wheat field on a warm day. The walk to the field, though, the walk to the place where we set up the massage table, I think would be
a little bit awkward. And the walk back. I mean, nobody wants to walk back through a muddy wheat field after their massage. And I guess the massage table would probably sink in the mud, so that would be weird. You know. Oh my God, I'm lonely. All right, the teenagers are going to smoke their marijuana and do some kind of rain dance outside of their parents' vehicles. I don't know what they're doing. You can see the headlights pointing into some sage. It's kind of cool. I'm looking out over Denver now. It's beautiful. Okay, a girl just walked like half naked out of the trees. I should probably get out of here. I think that they're up to something. I hope you guys have a good rest of the week. Alright? Come back next week. You're welcome here. I'm going to save a place for you here at this table. Please don't eat off my plate.